as we are back here on Finger Lakes One Radio on the Pilots and the Pilots YouTube channel, excuse me. I'm Kyle French. Game 2, Pilots walking that one off in a thriller, 12-11 over the Elmira Pioneers. Paulie Goodness delivers the local kid from Palmyra, New York. His brother Ian Goodness getting the start here in Game 2. That one swung on and ripped, and a leadoff single for Kevin Noss to start off this one. I'm Kyle French, joined by Frankie Van Zalata, played in Game 1.
Good to be here. Exciting Game 1. Honestly, one of my favorite games all year. As you said, walk off by Paulie Goodness, key part of the outfield. Really excited game to be a part of, and looking forward to hopefully another winning Game 2.
It's got to be an instant classic for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely a good game.
And who but Paulie Goodness? I mean, he's really come around towards the second half of the season here for the Pilots.
Yeah, 100%. He's definitely found his role and been a key part in every game that he's played in.
So Joe Muzio steps in to face Ian Goodness now, the designated hitter. So Joe Muzio will step in, batting .244 coming into this Game 2 for the Pioneers. The pitch from Goodness, that one just misses a little bit inside, counts it 2-0. What was the field like the field atmosphere that like for Paulie, walking that one off? I know I saw all you guys rush him over there on the first base line, but
yeah,
what was it?
He's a quiet kid. He really good kid, but it's nice to see him get a little bit of like energy, kind of fire up at the whole crew. It's always good when he comes out of his shell a little bit. Same as his brother Ian. He's been really impressive this year. Young kid, came along about halfway through the year, and he's been almost lights out every time he stepped on the mound.
Game 1 of the loss to Auburn, that part of that doubleheader in Auburn a couple days ago, Ian came in and, he pitched some strong baseball. Came in, runners on base, got out of a jam there. Looked very strong. And it's not only that. I mean, he's just confident. Like for his age, right out of high school, he can, he has no issue putting it right over the plate.
Yeah, for sure. He definitely is going to be something special.
That one hit right to the shortstop. Flaherty flips over to Loveland. Loveland over to first, not in time, but a 6'4" fielder's choice for Joe Muzio. Hard to throw at Muzio. Blazing speed there. Beat out the throw from Briggs Loveland. But that will now bring up Cooper Smith, the extra hitter for the Pioneers here. So Cooper Smith will step in. The extra hitter, batting .312 coming into the Game 2 of this doubleheader. Goodness comes set, first pitch from him. Curveball, that one swung on a hit out into right field. Trailing is Paulie Goodness and recording the out. And Ian Goodness patting himself on the chest there and pointing at his brother. How about that? The Goodness connection for the Pilots, an F9, and there's 2 away.
Yeah, I mean, Ian knows how to get outs. Opponent's batting average 182.
Dare I say, oh my goodness?
Yeah, oh my goodness.
As Jake Kelleher steps in, batting .255, first baseman in Game 2 for the Pioneers. Pilots playing spoiler yet again late in the season here.
That's what we do.
Elmira hoping to clinch the 1 seed over Batavia, but their odds significantly decrease after that. Batavia won Game 1, Mercy Rule 12-0 over the Geneva Red Wings. That game ended before this game did. And it started an hour later.
Yeah, that was a long game. Probably the longest 7-inning game I've ever been a part of and probably will ever be a part of.
Yeah, it's got to be up there in the Guinness Book of World Records for sure.
3 hours and 10 minutes, right?
Something like that. 3 hours, 10 minutes, 3 hours and 20 minutes. It was up there for 7 innings. 1-1 pitch. I was trying to make plans after the game, but those kind of fell through. So 2 balls, 1 strike.
Definitely good that we got on the right side of that one. 3 hour and 10 game coming with a loss would have been pretty tragic. Being out there in the sun and then losing.
2 balls, 1 strike. Looking forward to school ball this year, Frankie?
I mean, yeah, I don't really know exactly where I'm going, to be honest.
So you're transferring from Brockport.
Still in the transfer portal. Brockport obviously is still an option. Good option.
Well, obviously, I'm sure that they'd want you back.
Still a good option. Love the guys there. It's a really good culture, but yeah, don't really know.
Inferior to Oswego, though. Just have to throw that out there.
I don't know about that one.
I'm repping here in the press box tonight. Roll Lakers. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch.
Go pitch.
Swung on in the dirt. Ian Goodness gets him for the final out of the inning. Led to the bottom of the first. It'll be Frankie DiMartino. Frankie squared leading off. We'll be right back on Finger Lakes One Radio and the Pilots YouTube channel. So we're back on Finger Lakes One Radio on the Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. I'm Kyle French, joined by my color commentator for Game 2 of this doubleheader against the Elmira Pioneers, Frankie Vanzalotta. Thanks to have you, Frankie. Always a pleasure to have you in the booth.
Always a pleasure to be here. I saw the other Frankie steps in the box.
Frankie squared. A little connection here. First pitch, curveball. Very slow curveball dropping in there.
I will say,
4 strike counts at 0-1.
Frankie DiMartino might see the most amount of all-speed pitches I've ever seen anybody get.
Ironically enough, he's probably the fastest guy I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
That one misses high, counts at
Another
1-1.
all-speed pitch there. This kid, he gets all-speed pitches just about every pitch, and he knows it too.
I'm still in awe about that inside the park home run at Geneva. That was like the only real inside the park home run I've ever
He
seen.
can fly.
That one swung on and popped up. That one looked like a changeup as well. Left field, Presto underneath it and makes the play. So a P6 for Frankie DiMartino. That will now bring up Tatsunori Negishi, playing in his final game for the Pilots. Certainly going to miss Tots when he heads over to the Northwoods Leagues.
And boy, are we going to miss him. Tatsu might be one of my favorite players that I've ever watched. He always makes contact. He has 2 strikeouts this year, and both of them being horrible calls. He really is a great baseball player, and he's going to do good things in the Northwoods.
What was the team he was going to again? It was like
Kokomo Jackrabbits.
the Kokomo Jackrabbits. There you go.
Yeah, I think out in Indiana, I believe.
And you know, all the games up for the Northwoods League are actually broadcasted on ESPN Plus.
Yeah. I mean, he deserves to be there. He's a hell of a baseball player.
Counts at 1-1 to Negishi. There was an at-bat earlier on in Game 1. Negishi was down to count 0-2, worked it to 3-2 and fouled off 3 pitches and then walked.
Yeah, he's a tough out.
He certainly has to be a pest at the plate. I can't imagine throwing to a guy like Negishi.
Yeah, he came here and had a little bit of a rough start, and then I think he went 6 for 7 in a doubleheader against Jamestown, and ever since then, just been on fire.
2-1 pitch from Nelson. That's that really slow curveball. I'm telling you, that thing, it's just hanging. Like, if someone gets a hold of that, that thing's going to go for a ride.
The other thing about Tatsu is the better the competition, the better he performs.
He's got an interesting stance the way he chokes up on the bat there as that pitch misses outside, counts at 3-2.
He's definitely a gamer. He loves the competition, lives, eats, and breathes baseball. He deserves all the good things coming his way.
And not only that, being a lefty, like, He can really pull it, too. That one misses inside, and just like that, Tatsu works
Another
a walk
walk.
after being down 1-2 in the count. So Tatsu works a walk. He'll head to first. That will bring up the left fielder, Justin DiMartino, number 10. So the DiMartino connection in effect.
Yeah, Tatsu's on base percentage is over 400. He's guaranteed to get on base multiple times a game.
So Justin DiMartino steps in here, batting 271. The pitch. Fastball taken for a strike, counts at 0-1.
Talking about that slow curveball going far away, this is definitely a kid who could make it go far away. He's got a lot of juice and I would not be surprised to see something come off the bat fast.
And pickoff attempt, Tatsu just trots back in safely. Counts at 0-1 still. And yeah, you mentioned before the game, 2.71 ERA for Zach Nelson. Pretty significant there.
20 innings, 17 hits, 2.61 ERA. Pretty solid stats.
And the pitch from Nelson, that fastball blown right by Justin DiMartino. So Frankie DiMartino sees all off speed, and so far Justin DiMartino seeing all fast pitches. So
I'm sure they'd love to
count.
switch places.
Yeah. Nelson comes set, the 0-2 pitch. That curveball. A lot of movement on that curveball.
Yeah, good pitch there.
So a strikeout swinging for Justin. He'll go down on strikes. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Jack Arcamone. I'll tell you what, this is a guy you definitely don't want to throw that hanging curveball to. Arcamone hits exceptionally well off breaking pitches.
Yeah, Arcamone hits exceptionally well off any pitch. He's a very talented kid. Still very young, too. Great hitter.
First pitch to Arcamone. Fastball taken at the knees on the inner half of the plate. Counts at 0-1. So no balls, one strike to Mr. Jack Arcamone, the University of Richmond commit. Batting .328 for the Pilots coming in this game.
25 hits on the season. That will be second on the Newark Pilots.
0-1. That change up just misses outside, counts at 1-1. I think that pitch was closer than what it looked, but the catcher, Eric Charnetsky, looking to make a play on Tatsu. Tatsu being a menace over there on the base paths for the Pilots.
Tatsu knows how to play. He might not be stealing bases, but
him and Nick Payne, I say, they do a great job when they get on the base paths. I mean, you do the same thing.
they're gamers.
You play like that little, like.
That's one's going to get through. Atta boy, Jack.
It's almost like you guys do jumping jacks out there on the base paths just to mess with the pitcher.
Yeah, Tatsu's definitely a gamer. Even if he's not going to steal a base, he's going to get in your head and make you think about him a little bit.
So that will now bring up Chris Ferrara for the Pilots from Coral Springs, Florida, by way of Emerson College. And Chris Ferrara has a chance to put the Pilots on the board first here.
Yeah, Ferrara just coming back off an injury, looking to get that hit. Let him know he's back.
Ferrara steps in. That curveball misses high. Counts at 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, and 2 outs to Chris Ferrara. He's batting .171 coming in this game. What better opportunity for Ferrara to deliver here? That one's fouled off the catcher's mitt.
171 batting average, but very limited at bats. Like I said, coming off an injury, only 35 at bats on the season. One or two good games, and that average will definitely skyrocket.
So 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs. Chris Ferrara will step back in here. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on, and that one hit out into left center field. Trailing is the left fielder, but the center fielder trails on over. That's Wes Genrich.
Good swing. Good
making the play. Not a bad out for Ferrara, but trailing into left center field is Wes Genrich. He makes the play. It'll be Ray Hernandez leading things off as when we come back for the top of the second inning on Finger Lakes One Radio and the Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. And we are back here on Finger Lakes One Radio and the Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. First pitch from Ian Goodness to Ray Hernandez. Misses low. Count is at 1-0. Start off the inning. Hernandez batting 205. This is first at bat of the night. I'm Kyle French, joined yet again by Frankie Vanzalata, joining me in the color commentary booth. And man, you really do have a knack for this.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy it. First time this season, but
That one swung on a hit out into center field. Michael Flaherty is called off by the left fielder, Justin DiMartino, and making the play. He just kind of underhands it. You know, as fielders, when you're out there and another guy calls you off and it's like a too close for comfort play, what kind of, is it just like a running joke thing?
yeah, there was one ball, I think in the third inning in the first game, little bloop out to like shallow center field that Flaherty called, and on a ball that he's probably going to catch, you just let him get it. But earlier this year we had a little collision, and definitely don't want to see that happen again. But yeah, it's an inside joke for sure. All those plays everybody talks about when we collided, but yeah, as long as the ball's caught.
I tell you what, pop-ups have to be probably one of the hardest plays in baseball,
Yeah.
especially too when there's 3-4 guys trying to make a play on a ball, and it's like, who's got it, and you don't want to obviously end up in the circumstance where it drops in between four of you.
Yeah, but pop-up priorities are definitely, they're called pop-up priorities for sure.
Beautiful fastball on the outer half of the plate, painted by Ian Goodness. Counts at 1-2 now.
Yeah, another big thing is quick first out. Both teams pretty low on pitching, so quick outs and quick innings definitely.
Pioneers may be more low than the Pilots.
For sure,
They've
yeah.
played. This is their second doubleheader back to back.
I would like to say they definitely are low. I think they had their last guy out there last game.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. As Dom Presto steps back in, batting 187. Pitch from Goodness. Curveball, that one swung on and roped back up the middle. It's going to be a 1-out single.
Almost
for
caught by Ian Goodness there.
Dom Presto.
Good piece.
That will now bring up the left fielder, number 42, Spencer Aubin, batting 200. Aubin steps in for the Pioneers from the right side of the batter's box. Again, Pioneers wearing their road navy blue jerseys. So both teams. Pioneers actually usually wear red home jerseys and blue away. Pilots are one of the very few exceptions where they wear white at home. Very weird to actually see that here.
Yeah, thinking about it, yeah. I'm a fan of the white unis.
So no throw. That's going to be a wild pitch for Goodness. And advancing to second will be Dom Presto. So Spencer Aubin will step back in. First at bat of the night for him. So far for Ian Goodness, 12-8 strike to ball ratio. He's thrown 20 pitches in 1 and a third inning of work. 2 hits and a strikeout. 1-0 pitch from Goodness. That one taken at the knees. Beautiful spot. He's got like a weird, like kind of 3/4 release. It's like out here on the side a little bit.
Yeah, he definitely is not a guy I would want to step in the box against. He's a good pitcher.
Certainly the arm slot, the arm angle different. Like if you watch, like when he comes from the right side, just watch how the arm is like out.
Yeah, he comes across. He's very projectable. That's why I think he's going to be a very good pitcher because.
And he's so young too, right out of high school. And like I said, the one thing you cannot teach is confidence.
Exactly.
Believing in yourself, and the fact that he has that and all of these other attributes and skills, like he's going to be good.
Yeah, that goes for both Goodness brothers. They're both gamers for sure.
2-1 pitch is thrown off the base runner at second, Dom Presto, who just kind of looked at Goodness like, what? It was just lobbed in, wasn't thrown hard or anything off him.
Yeah, not a bad idea. I guess it's better than going into center field. Had a couple of those last game. Oh, there we go.
Oh, now they got him in the throw over. Not in time. That pitch was thrown back to looked like Briggs Loveland and thrown over to Nick Payne at third, but Dom Presto able to steal.
Looks like he barely beat that.
Third.
Got him on the
just barely
back of the leg.
beating that one was Dom Presto. So he advances to third with one away. Count is at 2-1 still. So Spencer Aubin steps in with a chance to put the Pioneers on the board first now. 2-1 pitch. Fastball blown right by him.
Big strikeout pitch right here.
Man, and I keep talking about the confidence, but a 2-1 count, you throw a fastball like right over the heart of the plate like that, and it's just blown right by the hitter.
I think sometimes as a hitter, you're not expecting a middle fastball on a 2-1 count or a 1-1 count. Any count that you're ahead, really.
That one misses outside. Good stop from Paulowich. That for sure saved a run. That'll push the count full 3-2 now. But Paulowich across his body and making the grab there, saving a run for sure. So the count's now pushed full, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, as a hitter, sometimes your eyes just light up like twice the size, and then you just miss it. 3-2 count here. Walk wouldn't be the worst. Puts the force in option.
And the payoff pitch.
Where'd he go? I thought he went.
And they're going to say he did not go around. That was very close. But nonetheless, that will now bring up the center fielder number 4, Wes Ginrich. So Spencer Aubin works a walk with one away. That'll bring up Wes Ginrich batting 177. He made that great play in center field, trailing to his right to end the bottom of the first and strand 2 Newark base runners. So Ginrich, the lefty, will step in for the Pioneers here.
Like I said before, walk isn't the worst thing in that situation. First base is unoccupied, puts the double play.
Runner goes. The throw down from Paulowich is cut off by Loveland. Great design play there from the Pilots to try and see if Presto at third was going to head home. But it'll be a stolen base now for Spencer Aubin. He advances to second.
Yeah, stolen base is the good call there. It takes away the double play.
That was called for a strike. Count is at 0-1. Pickoff attempt. Not really a pickoff attempt, just a step off.
A balk, yeah.
And, yep, they're going to say that's a balk.
Maybe a little bit of miscommunication. I don't think Payne knew he was coming over. Not very often you see a pickoff to third base.
So that balks in the first run, and a very odd way to score a first run at that. So the Pioneers take a 1-0 lead now.
Wouldn't be a Newark Pilots baseball game if there wasn't a couple odd runs scored.
Or a comeback.
Or a comeback.
The Pilots like to, they play possum the first half of the game, so to speak, and then the second half, then all of a sudden they start inching closer. I feel like innings 6 through 8 are like the Pilots' like magic innings.
Yeah, bend but don't break.
Counts it 0-2 to Wes Ginrich. Go to pitch. Missed outside. Counts at 1-2 now. Another good stop from Paulowich there. One ball, 2 strikes, and 1 away. Goodness comes set. 1-2 pitch. Swung on, and that one hit, and that will score a run.
That's
Chris
a really
Ferrara
good play.
made a really good play. Actually, the run won't score. Couldn't quite see where that ball went. Chris Ferrara heads up play there. 3 unassisted, and holding the runner is Chris Ferrara.
Yeah, Chris Ferrara is an exceptional defensive first baseman. Good play there. Looks the guy back, stops the run from scoring, and gets back to first.
That will now bring up the catcher, number 24, Eric Charnetsky, batting .218. So 2 away, Charnetsky will step in. Spencer Aubin sits 90 feet away on third base, the potential second run of the inning for the Pioneers. Pitch from Goodness. Misses high, counts at 1-0 now. 1 ball, no strikes, and 2 outs. as Eric Charnetsky steps back in for the Pioneers. Nick Bisaccia waiting on deck, the second baseman. 1-0 pitch from Goodness. Taken for a strike. Counts at 1-1 now. So 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs now.
Talking about that confidence from Ian, you really got to buckle down and not let that second run score. Seeing it in action right here.
That one misses low. Counts at 2-1 now.
When you look back at the end of this game, when you look back, I think it's going to come down to whoever can get more quick outs. Three pitches or less is what's going to do it because, like we said before, both teams very low on pitchers. You want to get everything you can out of your starter.
That one misses outside. Counts at 3-1 now. So 3 balls, 1 strike. And Goodness has thrown 34 pitches thus far for the Pilots. As Charnetsky will step back in and await pitch number 35. The 3-1 pitch.
Good pitch.
Beautiful fastball.
Outer half the plate.
Counts at 3-2 now. Plate looks a little dirty. Surprised the ump hasn't dusted it off yet.
And that pitch, it looks so outside to a ready batter because he comes, like you said, that arm slide comes across his body so much, but it's right there.
3-2 pitch. That one almost comes inside and hits Charnetsky. He'll head to first. So 2 away. That'll bring up the second baseman, number 22, Nick Bisaccia.
That's why I think Ian can get away with a lot of middle fastballs because when he releases it, he's releasing it as a hitter. It looks like it's at your face, and then it's middle. A lot of arm action.
So Bisaccia steps in 2 away. He's batting 137 coming into this game. If you're a hitter, what pitch are you sitting on here, first pitch of this at-bat, and are you swinging?
Probably fastball. He's thrown a lot of 2 walks in this inning.
And just like that, a fastball's fouled off. Paulowich coming up a little gingerly. Did that one look like it hit off the wrist, maybe?
I think as a coach and as a catcher, too, I mean,
actually off the helmet.
Seeing all the guys' batting average that they're coming up with, I think all of them have been sub 200. Early game, you know your pitching's low. You got to throw strikes. Kind of just let them hit it. Let your defense work. Get out of the inning. Like I said, the quick outs is what's going to do it here. And you got to go right at guys. That confidence that we were talking about is what's going to come down. That's what's going to be key in this game.
So no balls, 1 strike, and 2 away as Nick Bisaccia will step back in for the Pioneers. Pickoff attempt and heading back to first safely is Eric Charnetsky. Now, Goodness has got a sneaky pickoff move, too, for a righty. I mean, he did have the balk there, but, he can really move and turn when push comes to shove. 0-1 pitch from Ian. Runner goes. It's going to be a stolen base. Good stop from Paulowich to keep that below his feet. Counts at 1-1, and stealing second again was Eric Charnetsky. So runners in scoring position now, 2 of them on the stolen base from Charnetsky. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball taken for a strike, counts at 1-2.
When he throws a dotted pitch righty on the outside corner, I don't think he'll ever generate a swing. That pitch just looks so far outside to a righty.
A little bit of overcast here. Lights flipped on at Colburn Park.
Beautiful day for baseball.
The pitch, that one swung on and popped up into the net. So a foul ball. Count will stay at 1-2 to Nick Bisaccia. The 1-2 pitch from Goodness. Swung on, and that one popped foul. So we'll do the 1-2 yet again.
Still way ahead in the count. Got a couple pitches to work with. Definitely want to get out of this inning with only 1 run given up.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Goodness, that's the 2-2.
2-2 pitch. Swung on in another foul ball. Bisaccia making this thing an at-bat.
Going to be another 2-2 pitch with 2 outs, number 22.
Not a bad at-bat for Bisaccia. Certainly out of your 10-spot hitter. He'll be awaiting the 8th pitch of the AB. Goodness already will be sitting right around 45 pitches.
Yeah, at the very least, especially like you said, as the 10-hole, you're putting together a good at-bat, making him throw pitches, getting that pitch count up there.
That one swung on a hit, a little blooper out into center field. That one will drop in front of Frankie DiMartino. It'll be a 2 RBI single for Nick Bisaccia.
That's an impressive at-bat.
Hey, but we've seen this story before.
Yeah, we actually were down 3-0 with no outs in the
Four.
first inning.
4-0.
4-0 after the first, but 3-0 with nobody out in the first inning.
That'll bring up the right fielder, number 33, Kevin Noss, batting .232. Singled and was out on a 6-4 fielder's choice from Joe Muzio, the next batter in the lineup for the Pioneers. That one swung on and hit out into right. That one will be foul.
Just foul.
So no balls, 1 strike your count. And there's 2 away. Pickoff attempt from Goodness, and sliding back in safely is Nick Bisaccia. That one swung a hit right at Michael Flaherty and flips to Briggs Lovin.
Good up there.
6-4 ground out to end the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Nick Payne leading things off for the Pilots. We'll be right back on Finger Lakes One Radio and the Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. Finger Lakes One Radio and the Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. First pitch to Nick Payne, taken for a strike at the knees, as it's Zach Nelson out for another inning of work. Counts at 0-1 to Nick Payne. Again, we're in the second inning. Your score is 3-0 in favor of the Pioneers. 1 ball, 1 strike your count.
That one's taken on the outside corner for strike 2. Looking down in the Pilots bullpen, it looks like we have Landon White warming up, getting loose.
Landon White, the Bryant Bulldog commit. So 3-0 your score. Payne steps back in, 1-2 the count to him. That one swung and popped up and popped foul.
The recent Brian Bulldog commit, he was also in the transfer portal. Actually, a fellow rival from Ithaca.
Ithaca's a SUNY Brockport rival.
Yeah, we play him twice a year. Not in a conference, but every time we play him, it's a little chippy, just because they're close by.
1-2 pitch from Nelson. That one misses high. Counts at 2-2.
They're a really good team. They develop some really good guys, some really good players.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. That one swung on and hit right at the shortstop. Backhands it and a throw over to first. That's a really great play from the shortstop, Dom Presto.
Yeah, that ball was roped to shortstop. It's a good play.
That will now bring up Briggs Loveland, and it's a hitter. I mean, that's really got to – I don't even know, like, how I would feel. Like, you know, like you almost feel robbed at
You're going to have to ask the guy sitting behind us up here in the booth. Dom Camera has about 3 of those a game.
I guess you can never go wrong hitting the ball hard.
Dom
if it's
Camera,
allowed out, you kind of just have to tip your cap to the other guy at that point.
Dom as well as Tristan Head, both just about every time catch a barrel and a lot of times being on the short end of the stick.
Loveland batting 163 coming into this game. He's been playing consistent second base the last few games for the Pilots. That one misses low. Count is at 2-0 to Briggs Loveland. So far, Pioneers 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors. Pilots no runs, 1 hit, no errors. 2-0 pitch from Nelson. That one misses high. Counts at 3-0.
Yeah, Briggs been playing a lot, and he's been performing too, so definitely not opposed. But
waiting on deck is Big Michael, Michael Flaherty from London. He has a million nicknames, so you know I never know what to
Briggs
call him.
takes a walk, gets on first base.
They'll now bring up Big Michael Flaherty.
Big Michael.
His brother's going to be coming to play here.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's going to be pitching for the Pilots, I believe, soon. Either
this year?
There's off tomorrow, right? You guys are off tomorrow?
Yeah.
I believe he'll be here Tuesday. Don't quote me on that.
I did not know. How old is it? I didn't even know he had a brother.
He's a D3 pitcher.
Okay.
I'm not sure what school yet. I haven't been told. That's literally all I was told. Not a twin, I don't believe. It might be a twin. I'm not positive on that. I just give you the information as I hear it. 1-0 pitch to.
I mean, if he can help us out
Flaherty
as much as his
low.
brother is, Big Michael London Flaherty has been a big piece of this team. I believe most hits on the team, actually. He's been playing just about every day. He's leading the team in hits with 26 hits.
First at bat of the night for Flaherty, batting .314. That one misses. Actually taken at the knees. Counts at 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Pickoff attempt had Briggs Loveland sliding back in safely. Counts at 2-1. Flaherty steps back in, and Paulie Goodness, the hero, waiting on deck, walking things off in game 1. That one swung on and popped foul.
I think the biggest thing about Flaherty is that he's been consistent all year. He hasn't really had any points where he's been slumping. It seems just about every game he's getting a knock, and most games multiple.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Flaherty steps back in for the Lots. Pickoff attempt and sliding back in safely is Loveland yet again. Briggs Loveland certainly a menace on the base paths as well.
Yeah, he had a bag or 2 last game.
That one fouled off by Flaherty. Count is at 2-2 still. 3 stolen bases on the air for Loveland. Still got speed over there. Nelson comes set the 2-2 pitch. Curveball dropped low in the dirt. Counts now full, 3-2. And I wonder, with one out and a full count here, hit and run in effect? No?
I don't think so. Yeah. I don't think it'll be given, but I think
Loveland does not have. That one's going to be reached at
Another
and
hit.
right over the glove of the leaping shortstop, Don Presto. And you mentioned all those hits.
Right on
Hit
cue.
number 27 for Big Michael. Big London delivers a one-out single. That'll now bring up the right fielder and the man of the hour, Paulie Goodness. We'll see if he can put the Pilots on the board here in the bottom of the second. Paulie Goodness walking things off in game one of this doubleheader. We'll look and see if he can deliver yet again here.
Yeah, Paulie, another guy, been a consistent piece. He's been getting a lot of games too, playing just about every game in the last 5 to 10.
First pitch from Nelson. Taken at the letters, counts at 0-1.
I like how Paulie plays. He plays the game the right way. He plays it how he should be.
That one popped up. Don Presto underneath it makes the play. So a P6, Goodness down for the second out of the inning. That will now bring up Jack Polowitz for the Pilots here. Polowitz from St. Bonaventure University. First pitch, misses high. Count is at. First pitch counts at 1-0. That one misses high.
Another one upstairs. Talk about being due. This would be a good spot to get on the right side of things. 10-hole, lead off on deck, keep the inning extended. Especially in a 2-0 count, way ahead.
2-0 pitch popped up and foul. Count is at 2-1 now. That one missed. Taken for a strike. That one appeared to be down near the shins of Polowitz, but called a strike.
Yeah, I don't think he's too happy about that one. I don't. The difference between 3-1 and 2-2 is
Pretty significant.
pretty significant, especially first and second, 2 outs.
Nelson coming set. Runners on first and second. Polowitz with a chance to deliver here for the Pilots. 2-2 pitch from Nelson. That one misses low, and that one gets right through the 5-hole of the catcher, Eric Charnetsky, and advancing are Loveland and Flaherty. So a well-placed ball from Jack Polowitz could make this a 2-3 ball game.
Like I said, it would be a really big spot to come through. This being probably the biggest at-bat that we've had here so far in the second game. When you look back at the game, this could be a big turning point.
3-2 pitch to Polowitz. He
Fouled
fouls
right
that one off. Counts at 3-2.
Good at-bat.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pilots with 2 runners in scoring position. Michael Flaherty at second. Briggs Loveland on third. Polowitz. Golden opportunity here for the Lots. 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. That strands 2 runners led to the top of the third. 3-0 your score. We'll be right back on Finger Lakes One Radio and the Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. as we are back here on Finger Lakes One Radio and the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. Pitching change for the Pilots, as it will be Landon White leading things off for pitching for the Pilots now. 24.1 innings of work, a 5.54 ERA.
Yeah, as
That
we're
one
just
misses
talking,
outside.
the newly Bryant commit, Landon is pretty disgusting.
He's going to be heading to the NECBL here pretty soon.
Yeah, he's got some really good stuff.
1-0 pitch from the Bryant Bulldog. That one, not sure where that one missed. Counts at
Didn't
2-0.
look like it did.
So strike zone shrinking here this inning.
I think the most impressive thing about Landon is he actually just started pitching not too long ago. He started pitching end of high school almost. Prior soccer player, actually. Goalie.
Certainly has the long frame for it.
But yeah, I believe he started playing baseball. Yeah. Senior year of high school. 1 year at Ithaca and then transferred out to Bryant.
Well, certainly a late bloomer, but
Definitely a very talented arm. I think he runs in his family. His brother pitched at Wake Forest and now coaches at Brown.
that one fouled off out of play by Muzio. Counts at 2-2 now. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, and no outs. Counts at 2-2 now. Landon White, second on the Pilots team for pitching and wins with 2. Only guy above him, Chris Lowe, CeeLo, after yesterday's 9-inning, 9-strikeout complete game performance.
After yesterday's dominant performance.
107 pitches. You know, through the first 5 innings, he was averaging 8 pitches an inning.
Yeah.
That's absurd.
He knows how to pitch for sure.
At one point,
What a pitch.
40 to 13 strike to ball ratio for Chris Lowe that game. 40 to 30.
Yeah, that is
Or 40 to 13, excuse me.
impressive.
As going down on strikes is Muzio. Landon White strikes out the first guy he faces. That'll bring up the extra hitter number 8, Cooper Smith. Smith came in and actually was charged with the loss in game 1 for the Pioneers. Blew that game. Pilots walking it off 12-11. So Smith will come in. He's the extra hitter here for game 2. The pitch misses low. Counts at 1-0 now. 1 ball, no strikes, and 1 out to Cooper Smith. Flew out to right in his first at bat in the first inning.
Landon's another guy just like Ian, very projectable still. He's still a young guy. He's going into his sophomore year. Still got a lot of time. And especially at a school like Bryant, they're definitely going to develop him, and he's going to be something special.
So 2 balls, no strikes as Cooper Smith steps back in. 2-0 pitch from White. Taken at the knees, counts at 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike, and 1 out. That one misses outside, counts at 3-1 now.
Landon's also a very personable guy, I guess you can say. When he's on the mound, he's still very nonchalant, kind of loose, big jokester, and also
big clubhouse guy.
Big clubhouse guy.
3-1 pitch misses low, so 5-pitch walk for Cooper Smith will trot to first, and that will bring up the first baseman, number 14, Jake Kelleher.
That honestly, a big takeaway for me, honestly, would be the guys here. Just about everybody you can say is a big clubhouse guy. Everybody's great guy, great personality. Love hanging out with all of them. Newark Pilots will be missed. Fastball in the inner half, a little bit too inside.
One ball, no strikes as Jake Kelleher steps back in.
That fastball can dance. If he throws it, he aims that down the middle. It's got a lot
nice
of
changeup too.
A lot of arm side run. That's why he finishes inside on a lot of guys.
1-0 pitch. That one swung on and hit right back to me, and you can get me 2 for flinching right there. Hit right back towards us in the booth, and if it weren't for that protective netting, I think that would have came right in the window.
keeping you awake here after being here for a good 5 hours already. 1-1. The Bayou ball. Fouled off straight back, and it'll be 1-2.
One ball, two strikes. 1-2 pitch to Kelleher. That one swung on and popped up.
That one fouled back.
And that one didn't look too good. Might have rolled his ankle there. Certainly grimacing in pain. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jack Kelleher.
Runner goes, ball low, no throw to second base, and it's going to be a stolen base. Landon being one of our biggest strikeout guys here on the Pilots. He's looking for his second one of the inning. 2-2 from White.
The 2-2 pitch. Swung on, and that one popped up into right field. Paulie Goodness underneath it. He'll make the play in F9, and Cooper Smith is not going to tag there.
Good throw from right field from Paulie. Strong arm. Pulls the runner from tagging to third, and it's going to be 2 outs.
So 2 away now. Third baseman, number 47, Ray Hernandez, steps in now.
Batting .205 on the season.
Batting .205, yeah. Coming to this game, he flew out to left in his first at-bat. Justin DiMartino made that play out there. You know, Pilots have had a really talented outfield this year, I'd say. Certainly a lot of speed out there.
We're going to have to see it again.
And I talk about the speed. Look at Frankie DiMartino tracking that one down into left center field, making the play in F8 to end the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the third inning. Pilots up to bat here on Finger Lakes One Radio and the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. It'll actually be Frankie DiMartino just making the play. He'll be leading things off. We'll be right back. We are back on Finger Lakes One Radio on the Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. Frankie DiMartino squares the bunt and hits it right back to Nelson. And the only play will be at first. Obviously, a leadoff 1-3 ground out for DiMartino, and he almost beat that one out, even though it was bunted right back to the pitcher. We talked about that speed, but man.
Anywhere else, I think that's for sure single. Bunted back to the pitcher and still almost beats it out. That kid can really fly.
So that'll bring up Tatsunori Nagishi here in the bottom of the third inning. 3-0 lead for the Pioneers.
Tatsu batting second coming into today.
As Tatsu steps in. That one called a strike. Tatsunori Nagishi squaring around a bunt.
The shift on Tatsu, I don't blame him. Bunt down the third baseline is definitely a hit.
Tatsu's also a guy that can, like I said, he can pull.
Yeah.
So no balls, 2 strikes.
He has no problem going opposite side. I don't understand the shift completely in this situation.
No balls, 1 strike. 0-1 pitch to Tatsu. That one a little dribbler right towards the second baseman.
As I say that.
He'll scoop and throw on to first. A 4-3 ground out for him. Mark that one. Nick Bisaccia over to Jack Kelleher.
I will be eating my words on that one. He just hit right into the shift.
As that one now bring up Justin DiMartino.
I feel like sometimes as a hitter, when you see the shift, like it almost makes you think, like you just get in your head about it, and you end up just rolling.
Well, obviously you're a lefty, so you know what that's like.
Yeah.
What do you think of the new MLB rules regarding the shift?
Yeah. I'm a fan of it because
obviously it benefits you.
Yeah, I remember I used to just get the shift, but I don't pull the ball nearly as much as I used to. So I guess the shift has helped me become a better hitter, being able to hit the opposite field.
0-1 pitch. That one just taken a little bit high. Counts at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 away. That one misses high. Counts at 2-1 now. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Justin coming in the game batting .271, 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout in the first inning.
2-1 pitch from Nelson. They're going to say Justin went around to swing there.
I think he might have helped him out there. 2-2 count. Looking to get a little leadoff guy with 2 outs. Started up with 2. Maybe raise that pitch count. Make him throw some extra pitches.
That one misses outside. Counts at 3-2 now. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 away. That pitch is fouled off. Count is at 3-2.
Putting up a good at bat.
Certainly is.
DiMartino doesn't walk too often. He has only 4 walks on the season. Looking to get his 5th here.
3-2 pitch to Justin, and just like that, a walk. So he'll head to first, and that will bring up the designated hitter, Jack Arcamone.
Always a good thing when you can extend the inning to Arcamone. He's a threat to get a hit every time he steps up, and a threat to put the ball out just about as much.
So Jack Arcamone steps in now for the Pilots.
Already 1 for 1 on the day. Batting average over .330.
Jack attack.
Ground ball to second base. Going to go the easy way and force out at
4-6 ground out to end the inning. We'll head to the top of the 4th inning. 3-0 your score. We'll be right back on Finger Lakes One Radio and the Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. Back here on Finger Lakes One Radio on the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. I'm joined yet again by Frankie Vanzalata. Thanks for joining me up here in the broadcast booth. It's Don Presto leading things off. First pitch from White. Nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, first pitch fastball, driven in the left field for a base hit, lead off the inning.
So leadoff single for Presto. He'll head to first for
That'll
the
make
fourth
him,
hit of the game
2
for the
for 2 on the
Pioneers.
night.
Now batting the left fielder number 42, Spencer Aubin. That will now bring up Spencer Aubin for the Pioneers here after the leadoff single from Presto. First pitch from Landon White. That one misses inside. Count is at 1-0 now. So 1 ball, no strikes, and no outs here. Don Presto sits on first.
As a pitcher, I feel like first pitch hit honestly isn't the worst thing that can happen.
No, certainly. It could be one of those grounded out at bats where they finally either work a walk or get a hit. I feel like it's not really as mentally taxing, you know. It's like, oh, okay, next batter. That one fouled off, counts at 1-1 now.
Elmira's getting guys up in the bullpen as well. Looks like another righty.
What's left of it, that is. They are certainly running on E right now in the pitching department.
We're very close to it.
1-1 pitch. That one just misses outside, counts at 2-1.
I thought that one might have caught the corner. That was a good pitch by Landon.
So 2 balls, 1 strike, no outs. We're going to see Mr. Vanzalata getting back on the mound at some point.
I don't know.
Oh, you didn't look too bad there in Auburn the other day.
First time in about 9 months.
Pickoff attempt.
Today was supposed to be a day where I might be getting an inning, but arm wasn't feeling too up for it, so I don't want to push it if I don't have to.
There you go, of course. I mean, these pitchers get to do that too.
Yeah.
See, the other thing is that, you know, you have to play almost every day. Pitchers don't.
Yeah, I took 1 day off after I threw and then was back in the lineup making full effort throws from center field, so I don't really get too much of a
So
time
that
to
one
rest.
called for a strike to Aubin. Aubin not happy with the call. Counts at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and no outs. Beautiful night for baseball. Beautiful day for baseball. We've been here since before 3 p.m.
There's been a lot of those this summer. I know we had that 1 week. As that one gets away, he's going to get to second base.
It's going to be a pass ball for Jack Polowitz. Don Presto advances 90 feet, and the count is pushed full.
As I was saying, we've had a lot of really nice days for baseball. Granted that we had that 1 week where just about every game got rained out, but aside from that, just about every day we've played has been pretty good weather.
3 balls, 2 strikes to Spencer Aubin. 3-2 pitch from White. Misses outside. So ball 4, a single and a walk, and the Pioneers have put the first 2 base runners on. That will now bring up the center fielder number 4, Wes Genrich. He grounded out 3 unassisted back in the second inning on that really great play from Chris Ferrara that held the runner at third for the time being.
Hoping for another ground ball to first base, maybe get a double play.
So Wes Genrich steps back in. White comes set. The pitch to Gingrich. This outside, counts at 1-0 now. So 1 ball, no strikes, and none away in the top of the 4th inning. Pitch. That one fouled off. Count is at 1-1 now.
Just about halfway through this one, and this one is definitely moving faster than the last game. Like we said, 3 hours and 10 minutes for a 7-inning game. Definitely dragging along. This one seems to have a little bit more pace of play.
So 1 ball, 1 strike to Wes Ginrich. Pitch from Landon White. Swung on and fouled.
Up ahead in the count now, 1-2.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Strikeout would be perfect here.
Yeah, strikeout, maybe throw a pitch, trying to get a ground ball. Double play would be huge. There we go.
In there, strike 3, and
Looked like outside corner, maybe top of the zone. Ginrich was not happy with that call.
so backwards K.
2 strikes. Thing that might
As that one now bring up the catcher, number 24, Eric Charnetsky.
Charnetsky batting .219 coming into the game today. Up here with first and second, 1 out in the top of the 4th inning.
Pick off a
second.
10th, and I think they got him, and they did.
Whoa.
What?
He went to go. He reached back like he was going to call him out and then call him safe. I'm not too sure what changed his mind, but PGCBL umpires back in action. That one confused me. He reached back like he was going to punch him out.
I know.
And then called him safe.
He was conflicted.
Yeah.
But it looked like the throw was well in time, so I'm not sure.
I thought
Maybe
we
tagged? I don't know.
And the runner
Goes now. Throw down from Paulovich. And now he's out.
And I don't know.
Maybe that was a makeup call. I don't know, but I think I would have had it backwards.
Definitely a makeup call there. I don't know. You're asking the wrong guy.
So I'm certainly not an umpire by any means, but
one thing I won't miss and one thing that I can appreciate college baseball for is the umpires are significantly better than the PGCBL umpires. Love as people, there's nothing against.
Well, the trending line of the summer has been PGCBL umpires strike again.
Yeah.
So
And he just struck twice. So
yeah. Well, at the end of the day, the end result is the same of what it should have been.
Yeah, he made up. I mean, there's a runner on
that's why it's called a makeup call for a reason. That one, a little half swing, fouled off into the net. Counts it 0-2 now.
The only difference is that now there's a runner on second, puts him in scoring position.
And for Landon White, that's a very ideal. A strikeout,
Yeah.
you get
Strike him out, throw him out.
you get a guy punched out on the bases.
Yeah.
So I mean, and now 0-2 in the count. After putting the first 2 guys on, he's looking to get out of the inning here.
Now you're 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning with the 0.
0-2 pitch from Landon White. That one is
Gets away.
hit off of Paulovich. So a strikeout, but he advances to first.
Looks like it bounced off the knee pad of Polowitz behind the dish and got away.
So a strikeout swinging, but a wild pitch. And advancing to third is Spencer Aubin. Unfortunate break there for the Pilots. So that's a strikeout swinging, advance to first on a wild pitch. As that one, I'll bring up the second baseman, number 22, Nick Bisaccia. The pitch from Bisaccia swung on and fouled off. Counts at 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, and 2 outs. Bisaccia batting .137 coming into this game.
Wonder if they'll send the runner here, try to force a throw, maybe.
0-1 pitch from White.
That one just misses out a little bit upstairs there.
So counts at 1-1 now. One ball, 1 strike, 2 away.
A lot of pitches done this inning.
1-1 pitch taken for a strike. Counts at 1-2 now.
Nobody up in the Newark Pilots bullpen, though, yet, as of now.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Once again, 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning.
Landon White coming set. The 1-2 delivery. In there at the knee, strike 3. Landon White gets out of the inning after putting on the first 2 runners. Chris Ferrara will lead things off in the bottom of the 4th. We'll be right back on Finger Lakes One Radio.
They strike again.
Certainly, PGCBL umpires strike again. We'll be back. Bottom of the 4th inning, 3-0 your score on Finger Lakes One Radio on the Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. As we are back on Finger Lakes One Radio on the Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. Chris Ferrara leading things off for the Pilots here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Fly out to center field in his first at bat in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1-0 the count. First pitch missed for a ball. Anything you can tell me about Mr. Chris Ferrara?
Another big clubhouse guy. Really a good guy to be around. Coming from Emerson College in Boston. Like I said, just coming off injury. Third game back, I believe. Sits on a curveball there, fouls it straight back.
That one fouled off. Counts at 1-2 to Chris Ferrara now.
I believe Ferrara is also the oldest guy on the Pilots, so he definitely got that big brother role in the clubhouse.
That one misses outside. We'll bounce in the dirt. Counts at 2-2. Waiting on deck is Nick Payne.
Zach Nelson still on the mound for Elmira, and as we said earlier in this game, pitching is slim, so definitely a big help for the Elmira Pioneers still being in the game.
2-2 pitch. That one swung on and popped down the right field line. And
another foul ball putting together another good at bat. This is the at bats you need if you're the Pilots, because you need to run that pitch count up, get that bullpen moving, and get to those guys at the bottom of the barrel for their bullpen.
Certainly, and Nelson sitting at 58 total pitches right now.
I'm sure they'll run him up as much as they need to. Another foul ball.
Counts at 2-2 now.
Looks like it's raining a little bit. Looks like a little drizzle starting here in the bottom of the 4th.
Does look like that. Wasn't supposed to rain, so that's interesting. Check the forecast. There was no rain on the forecast. Let's see. Gotta love lake effect.
Doesn't look too bad, but
oh, now rain is forecasted. Something coming right over us.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Just a little bit of rain.
That'll bring up Nick Payne.
That will now bring up Nick Payne for the Pilots here.
Payne batting a clean 200 coming into the game, 0 for 1 so far.
Nick Payne steps in. That one taken for a strike. Counts at 0-1 now. So no balls, 1 strike, and behind Payne, Briggs Loveland awaits on deck. 0-1 pitch from Nelson. That one misses outside. Counts at 1-1 now. So very weird sequence of events. The sun is out in left field behind the clouds. You can see the sun, but it's raining, and there's gray clouds right above the sun.
And the lights are
towards us.
on.
And the lights are on.
That one misses just about upstairs, and the count's going to be 2-1.
2 balls, 1 strike, 1 away. Nick Payne will step back in. How hard is it as a hitter to hit in the rain?
I don't think the rain's the biggest problem here. I think when you have those 7 o'clock late games, right around from the first to like the 6th inning, that sun is right in your eyes.
Yeah, and I've said this on a lot of broadcasts. Whoever designed this park really hates hitters.
Yeah, it is definitely tough.
The sun's always setting in left field right there.
Geneva, too.
And the pitch.
That one taken upstairs.
Outside.
And Payne gets his 13th walk of the season.
That one I'll bring up Briggs Loveland, and more specifically, left-handed hitters at that, because, you know, you guys are facing the sun. At least the righties have like a little bit of, like, you know, the back that'll shield it.
Yeah, there's been some at-bats where I felt pretty helpless this year with that sun, especially against a good arm. It's definitely hard to see.
Briggs Loveland steps in, walked, and was left on base back in the 2nd inning. That one misses low and away, counts at 1-0. And
this is what happens when you start running the pitch count up, starts missing a little bit more, you get more selective. You sit one pitch. Now that he's missing low, you get ahead in the count, you know a fastball's coming, and that's how you get things going.
Yeah, Nelson at 66 total pitches at the moment. 1-0 pitch. That one swung on and roped, and that one's going to get through. Briggs Loveland delivers.
Right on cue.
1-out single, and Nick Payne advances to 2nd, and that'll bring up a dangerous bat in this Pilots lineup. Big London, Big Michael Flaherty will come up for the Pilots here.
Yeah, Frenchie, that's why it's so important to throw strikes and get ahead in counts, because when you get behind and people just start sitting fastballs and kind of expect what's coming, stuff like that happens. See if the Pilots can make something of it.
That one
taken low, but
called a strike for sure. That one, like I said, look near the shins.
Yeah, definitely below the knees.
Strike zone certainly not as consistent in game 2 here, and neither is
a guy like Flaherty. That maybe called a strike on me, but I don't know about.
I don't know. He's not Aaron Judge out there.
I don't know about somebody like Flaherty.
No balls, 1 strike, 1 away. Nelson coming set. Runners on 1st and 2nd. That one fouled off. Counts at 0-2, and
ball fouled down.
You know, it doesn't affect that pitch right there really, but like I said, Nick Payne, him and Tatsu, they are crazy on the base pass. Nick Payne was about halfway down the line there just dancing.
From a pitcher standpoint, you can sum it up to annoying. From our standpoint, definitely encourage it, but I'm sure they're not too happy with him.
Fastball hit right towards the 3rd baseman. Throw to 2nd. So they'll force the out at 2nd. It's a 5-4 fielder's choice that'll put runners on the corners, and that will bring up Paulie Goodness with another opportunity here for the Pilots.
I'm not sure if Briggs thought that they were going 2 at that one. No slide generated from the throw.
Yeah, I think if he would have slid, that would have been a lot closer play.
Yeah,
Certainly the umpire would have had something to think about.
Yeah, especially with the bounce.
The play was a lot closer than it looks.
Yeah.
Sliding just makes it look like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Also, at second base, you got to kind of slow down to, like, stand on the base. You slide, you can kind of just go right in there. That one taken low. A lot of Nelson's misses have been low. Not much in the top of the zone.
1 ball, no strikes, 2 away. Bottom of the 4th.
Looks like a sidearmer warming up in the bullpen for the Pioneers.
Chance for Paulie Goodness to deliver here. Pitch.
That one taken upstairs. Looked like a strike.
Just was outside and heads up base running, just like I say. Nick Payne timed that throwback perfectly, and Nick Payne steals home. A stolen base of home, and the Pilots have their first run of the game. Nick Payne, what a play.
Right on cue. Just talking about how he's out there and he never lacks. He's
you know, I will say, they call me Mystic Mac because I predict these things.
That's a big play.
That's a big stolen base of home right there.
You got your 9-hitter up with 2 outs.
2 balls, no strikes. The Pilots put up their first run of the game. That one misses high. It counts at 3-0 now. And
now you have the tying run at the plate.
Now you put the Pioneers in a position here, too, where they have to question if Nelson would even be coming out next inning now.
Exactly.
You push the pitch count up. He's at 73 pitches.
Especially he's got to get out of this inning first. 3-0 count.
Rain coming down now here at Colburn Park. And the sun sneaking out. 3-0 pitch, that one taken for a strike, and certainly trying to get those pitches up. Goodness batting 187 coming in here to game 2. He's 0 for 1. Popped up to the shortstop in the second.
Paulie, another guy that doesn't walk too often. He has 2 walks on the year. 3-1 count set up for a good.
One swung on and popped up right side of the infield. First baseman trailing over, and he'll watch that one kick out of play. So the count's now full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nelson, after being down 3-0, the count has pushed it full.
Like I said, Paulie doesn't walk too often, but he also doesn't strike out too often. He's almost a guarantee to put the ball in play most of the time.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Nelson comes set.
Rain seems to be picking up.
3-2 pitch.
Goes,
swung on, another pop up, and that one out of play. Viper's been busy out there tonight.
Most definitely.
So counts full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Michael Flaherty on first. Jack Polowitz awaits on deck.
With Flaherty running on the pitch, you got to expect ball maybe not even in the gap. Just a ball deep enough might even score him.
3-2 pitch from Nelson.
That
one misses high. Paulie Goodness works a walk. That'll put runners on first and second, and that will bring up Jack Polowitz now.
Jack Polowitz and another opportunity with 2 runners on. Last at bat, he was up with second and third, 2 outs, and here he's first and second, 2 outs. Regardless, you got to think this is a successful inning for the Pilots, making Nelson throw a lot of pitches. You can almost expect this will be his last.
Certainly, knock on wood. Definitely a way quicker pace of play here in game 2, would you say?
Yeah, that's what I mentioned that earlier. Definitely.
I mean, we're already in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Yeah.
As opposed to the other game, I think we were just starting inning 2 or halfway through inning 2.
Especially
Counts at 1-0 to Polowitz.
Now that it's raining, I'm sure everybody's happy that the game's going a little bit faster.
Oh, for sure.
A couple long innings last one. A lot of walks, a lot of hit batters.
1 ball, no strikes.
Changes.
The 1-0 pitch. That one swung on and popped up into center field. Coming on in is the center fielder, Don Presto, underneath it. Center fielder Gingrich calling everyone off will make the play in F8. The Pilots strand 2 yet again will head to the top of the 5th, but not before the Pilots put up 1 run. Scores now 3-1. We'll be right back on Finger Lakes One Radio and the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. So we're back on Finger Lakes One Radio and the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. It will be the right fielder number 33, Kevin Noss, leading things off for the Pioneers here. Back at the top of the order for them, 1 for 2 in the night, singled in the first inning and grounded out 6-4 in the second.
Landon White's still out there on the mound and nobody warming up in the bullpen, so
counts at 1-0. Likely they'll try and lean on him, probably to get them to at least the 6th, I'd say.
Relying on one of our best arms out of the pen. best arms overall. Landon's been a key part of the rotation all year.
White is at 34 pitches thus far. Make that pitch 35, called a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Talking about that dirty plate, Landon just asked the umpire to wipe it off.
Still dirty. They don't really know what that did, but
Stepping on it.
different strokes, different folks, I guess.
Might not have the brush, but who knows?
I feel like as umpire, that's like you got to have that though. You know, you're not prepared. You're not prepared for your job.
Maybe he didn't want to bend over and wipe it off.
It could be the case.
UGCBL umpires, you never know.
1 ball, 2 strikes, and no outs. You know, just a little Bob Ross action on the plate. You know, just wipe it down.
No such thing as mistakes, just happy accidents.
Landon White comes set. 1-2 pitch.
Good pitch.
That's a beautiful pitch. What a breaking pitch. Strikeout swinging to Kevin Noss. He goes on and strikes.
Like we said, Landon averaging over 1 strikeout an inning, and he's been doing that.
That will bring up the designated hitter, number 77, Joe Muzio. And speaking of strikeouts, Muzio struck out swinging back in the 3rd inning in his first at bat, or his second at bat, last one.
That was Landon's 5th strikeout on the day.
5th strikeout already for Landon White. He's been cruising.
2 1/3 innings, 5 strikeouts, not too shabby.
And the pitch. That one taken for a strike. Beautiful spot for that fastball. And he just has natural tail on the end of that fastball, natural break.
Little disagreement with that call. Catches the outside corner.
No balls, 1 strike. 1 away. Joe Muzio steps back in, batting 244.
Time call. Looks like a ball from the Newark Pilots bullpen. Looks like Cam Kingsley getting hot in the bullpen. Another solid arm out of our bullpen.
0-1 pitch from White. Another fastball blown right by him. Counts it 0-2.
Like we said earlier,
I feel like there's some tension between White and
I
Muzio.
was just gonna say when he got in the box the first time, he was staring down Landon a little bit, and then Landon gave a little bit taste of his own medicine after he struck him out. Looking to do the same thing here.
0-2 pitch from White. That one in there, strike 3. Muzio struck out again by Landon White. He'll take a seat on the bench for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, you always gotta love when
Landon White winning the battle twice, 2 strikeouts.
yeah, Landon letting him
Backwards K, ring him up.
That one did not miss at all.
I don't know. I'll bring up the extra hitter, Cooper Smith, walking
right down
this
Broadway.
last plate appearance. That one's fouled off out of play. So no balls, 1 strike. Landon White looking to put down the Pioneers 1-2-3 this inning.
Rain looks like it's slowing up too.
Oh, it's a little sword action there. Landon White.
On a half swing. And right back at 0-2.
He's got it rolling. 6 strikeouts for him already in 2 2/3 inning of work. So he's faced 8 batters and he's struck out 6 of them. That one just misses inside. That's not a bad miss.
This has been his best inning by far. He's been dominant this inning. And a quick one too.
Yeah, White.
Knock on wood. Hopefully we can get this inning over with and get back to the sticks.
Landon White comes set.
Get to that shallow bullpen.
1-2 pitch. That one comes in and hits him.
Yeah, strike 3. There we go.
And they're going to say he swung around. They're going to call strike 3.
I can see that from a mile away.
So Landon White strikes out the side. And looks like Andrew Drum's going to come and chat with the home plate umpire.
That's definitely the right call, though. I mean, he leaned into it. That ball almost debatably would have been a strike. And they did that twice last game. From center field, you could see it. And they didn't call it. But same kid got hit twice last game doing the same thing.
Oh. All right, we'll be right back on Finger Lakes One Radio. As we are back here on Finger Lakes One Radio on the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. I'm Kyle French, joined by Frankie Van Zlata. It's Frankie DiMartino leading things off for the Pilots. It's Meeks coming on to pitch for the Pioneers.
Yeah, Meek seems to be, honestly, probably their go-to guy. 1.24 ERA, 29 innings pitched, 11 games pitched. Definitely trying to get a win here, putting in their better arms. That one called strike 2 again.
Back-to-back strikes called by the home plate umpire. DiMartino steps in 0 for 2, a pop-up to the shortstop in the first and a 1-3 ground out in the third. I feel like DiMartino really gets a hold of the baseball, you know?
Yeah, he's been swinging
always
lately. Drops down for strike 3.
That one called at the knees. A backwards K. That will now bring up the extra hitter, number 8, Tatsunori Nagishi.
Yeah, it looks like he dropped down sidearm for that pitch. We've been seeing that recently. That's a common theme with the Elmira Pioneers. First game, same thing.
So Tatsu steps in, 0 for 1 on the night. Walked in the first, grounded out 4-3 in his last AB in the third inning. Hitting .315 coming in this game for Tots.
Yeah, Meek's also an all-star. Has 33 strikeouts in 29 innings.
1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 pitch. Misses inside, counts at 2-0 now.
Like I said before, though, Tatsu steps up to the plate when there's better pitching. He has better hitting.
Right in the heart of this Pilot's order, too. Justin DiMartino and Jack Arcamone on deck and in the hole.
Batting second today is Tatsu, usually a 3-hitter, but
2-0 pitch to Tatsu. Swung on, and that one popped up. Infield coming in, third baseman calling everyone off, and he'll make the play, a P5 for the third baseman, Ray Hernandez. And that will now bring up Justin DiMartino for the Pilots.
I think it's turned off.
So Justin DiMartino steps in for the Pilots here. After the pop-up from Tatsu. That one called a strike as well. Meeks dealing himself this inning.
A lot of off-speed. A lot of off-speed early in the counts, too.
No balls, 1 strike.
Definitely seems to be able to throw multiple pitches for strikes.
0-1 pitch. Misses outside. Count is at 1-1 now.
Drops down sidearm and another slider. You almost got to think every time he drops down, he's going to throw a slider.
So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. 1-1 pitch. That one misses outside.
I say that's a fastball, but also
2-1.
Fastball to the backstop.
He's changing arm slots too. I know we talked about that, but that's different.
Yeah, like I said, I think it might just be an Elmira thing. They have multiple guys that do that. I mean, if it's effective, don't fix what's not broke. If you get outs, you get outs, I guess.
2-1 pitch. Taken for a strike. Counts at 2-2 now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jack Arcamone waits on deck for the Pilots.
2-2 with 2 outs. Down 2, looking to get him started with 2.
The 2-2 pitch. This is inside. That'll push the count full. Surprised that one was not called a strike, honestly.
That one almost hit him, too.
With the strike zone that I've seen this inning.
Did they switch umpires in between games?
They did. Always double headers.
Yeah.
They switch after the first game. Full count pitch. Swung on and missed. So a strikeout swinging will add to the top of the 6th inning. 3-1 your score. We'll be right back on Finger Lakes One Radio and the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. We're back on Finger Lakes One Radio and the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. Jake Kelleher, first baseman, over 2, a strikeout swinging in the first and an F9. Big story, Landon White, 7 strikeouts in 3 innings of work.
Yeah, big strikeout guy. Still out there getting everything we can out of him. Both teams, like we said, don't have much pitching, but the pitching they do have does seem to be effective because Elmira's got their guy and we got our guy. So
Landon White at 44 pitches here. And I feel like just naturally, he's just a lot better out of the pen. I feel like he's just a really good, I feel like the games he started, other than the exception of that Geneva game, I feel like he's just bred to come out of the pen. You know what I mean? Like middle reliever, he'll give you 3-4 solid innings.
yeah, and he can really ramp up, especially when he knows he's only going 3-4 innings. He can really let back, and I believe at Geneva, even the game he started, he hit 91. He knows he can rear back
and I talked with him. That's a big jump, jumping from D3 to Division I.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Landon's a guy. He just goes out there and plays a game. He doesn't think about it too much. He's a guy that can go out there and compete with anybody.
So 1 ball, 1 strike, and if there's anyone ready for the jump, certainly has to be Landon White. 1-1 pitch. Misses low. Counts at 2-1 now.
That Liberty League, though, this year is no joke. He had a couple appearances.
I saw Ithaca play once at Oswego this year.
Yeah, back-to-back super regionals for Ithaca. They had some real studs. They had a couple pitchers that he has told me that kind of took him under his wing, but they had an All-American. They're a solid squad over there. They had a Rutgers transfer actually at All-American.
That one misses outside. Counts at 3-1 now. So 3 balls, 1 strike. Landon White comes set. It's cooled down a lot here at Colburn Park after that rain. That one.
Oh, that missed, but it did.
Should I just keep going? That one looked like it was a strike, but we'll work a walk. That will now bring up the third baseman, number 47, Ray Hernandez. Pair of flyouts for him. First to Justin DiMartino in left, the second to Frankie DiMartino in center.
Yeah,
so 2 at-bats, and he flew out twice to each DiMartino.
We started this game with DiMartino's brothers in the outfield and the Goodness brothers pitching in right field. A couple pairs of brothers, and like you said, we'll be adding a third with Little Flaherty, I guess, if we call him Big Flaherty.
That would be an interesting lineup if we had Justin in left, Michael Flaherty at short. Well, I got to figure that out because
one of them could come out of the pen.
Yeah, one of them could come out of the pen, but have all the DiMartinos in, all the Goodnesses in, and all the Flahertys make an appearance in one game.
When we say it's a family here in Newark, it really is actually a family because there is blood relation between half the team.
1 ball, 1 strike. And obviously it's a family in the locker room, too, metaphorically speaking.
Yeah. Physically and literally a family.
1-1 pitch.
That one just inside.
Counts at 2-1 now. And even though the Pilots have struggled a little bit this year, obviously losing a lot of games by, single digits, close games at that, I feel like the mentality still hasn't changed.
Yeah, just about every loss is under 3, under 2 runs. Multiple losses by 1 run. But
at least 17-18.
Yeah.
Of the 24.
Yeah, I mean, the locker room still hasn't changed. Like I said, a bunch of great guys who come out here every day and compete. And now we just play spoiler, like you saw in the first game.
Pilots played spoiler late in last season, ending Jamestown's chances of the playoffs.
One ripped in center field. It's going to drop for a base hit. Going to take third. It's going to look first and third here with nobody out for the Pioneers.
That will now bring up the shortstop, number 2, Don Presto. He's 2 for 2 with a pair of singles and a run scored. He was caught stealing 2-5 back in the 4th inning. As Daniel Steve's going to come out, and it looks as if Landon White's night will be over, and it'll be Cam Kingsley coming on in relief. We're going to take a break. Pitching change for the Pilots. Cam Kingsley coming on in relief of Landon White. We'll be right back on Finger Lakes One Radio and the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. We are back on Finger Lakes One Radio on the Newark Pilots YouTube channel. NewarkPilots.tv, top of the sixth inning. Dom Presto up to the plate for the Pioneers. 3-1 your score. Pioneers with runners on the corners and none away. Cam Kingsley comes on to pitch. The pitch misses for a ball.
Misses upstairs.
Counts at 1-0. For the Pioneers, 3 runs on 5 hits, no errors. And for the Pilots, 1 run on 3 hits, no errors.
Looking down in the Pilots bullpen, slim numbers. I don't know what we have left, trying to get everything we can out of Kingsley.
Looks like someone is up and warming down there. That one swung on a hit, and that's going to get him for a base hit. RBI single for Presto.
Martino. He's going to go second and third.
So it's an RBI single for Presto, advance on the E7.
Yeah, I think down in the bullpen, that might be Dom. Might be a position player.
Dom Camera. So someone's warming up down there.
I think it might be just a joke. Just on. Unfortunate error there, and it's going to have 2 runners in scoring position. Still with nobody out. It's all about damage control now. How much can Kingsley
So 4-1 your score now.
control this?
And the top of the 6th. That one.
With 2 innings left, 2 licks at the plate. Going to have to try to hold them to 1 more run at the most. Keep it within 4.
1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 pitch from Kingsley. Swung on, and that one popped foul.
I feel like in a lot of these games, 4 is the magic number. Anything 4 or less is like, I mean, grand slam, granted, but when you can potentially have the tying run at the plate, any game is not over. The 1-2 from Kingsley.
Swung on and missed. Beautiful movement on that pitch. Was that a slider?
Slider, curveball, something.
A sweeper?
Whatever it was, got the job done. Strike 3 on a swing. It's going to be still second and third and nobody, or 1 out. Excuse me.
Gingrich over 2, batting 177. Grounded out 3 unassisted in the second and struck out looking in the 4th. That one taken for a strike, counts at 0-1. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a big miss on the fastball. Counts at 0-2 now. No balls, 2 strikes.
Kingsley out of the windup. Swing
and a miss.
That one gets
In
away.
the dirt, and it looks like a run's going to score. And it's the second strikeout swinging. Advance on a wild pitch of the game.
That one gets away from Polowitz. Going to score a run.
And that will score a run.
Is that a pass ball or a wild pitch?
That's a pass ball.
Might be the third strikeout with a pass ball. Impressive job by Kingsley, though, coming in and striking out 2 batters. Talk about damage control. Runner goes to second to throw down, and he's going to be out. He calls him out.
And a run will score on that as well.
Score.
The score is now 6-1. And stealing home is Dom Presto. So 6-1 your score now. That one misses upstairs, counts at 1-0. Excuse me, 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Across the board, 6 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Pioneers. 1 run, 3 hits, and 1 error for the Pilots.
A couple of unfortunate plays this inning. being the pass ball, drop their strike, allowed the guy to get the first and the ball in left field. Oh, throws the bat into the stands. Hopefully everybody is okay. That bat went over the fence into the stands.
A little slippery out.
That rain might have got to his bat and yeah, threw that one into the crowd. Lucky fan will be taking home a souvenir tonight. Looks like a new bat has been put into play. Luckily, everybody was okay on that, and nobody was hit with a flying baseball bat.
2-1 pitch, misses inside, counts at 3-1 now. 3 balls, 1 strike, and 2 away.
Kingsley, the 3-1 from the windup. That one popped up. Kingsley on his horse. Will he get it?
As that one will hit right before Kingsley. Counts at 3-2, though. Good hustle from Kingsley.
Hell of an effort as a pitcher to do that and then get back on the mound. Everybody's got to be ruined for him to get this out now.
Three balls, 2 strikes. Eric Charnetsky will step back in.
Kingsley this year, honestly, been a pretty reliable guy out of the pen.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
And that one will be ball 4 for a 2-out walk. Kingsley, another guy that is a SUNY Brockport rival from St. John Fisher.
Fisher. First pitch from Kingsley, misses 4 ball, counts at 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, and 2 away. Top of the 6-1 your score.
Kingsley comes, sets, delivers the 1-0.
Swung on and popped foul. Count is at 1-1 now. One ball, 1 strike. That pitch
Called strike.
taken for a strike.
Another nice curveball there by Kingsley. Gets ahead in the count 1-2, 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning. Getting the Newark Pilots back up with the middle of the order coming up. Going outside.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Still raining here at Colburn Park. Top of the 6th inning. The pitch from Kingsley. That one swung on and hit right towards Michael Flaherty. He'll backhand it and throw, falling away. Not in time. Throw over to third, not in time as well. So a single, infield single.
By the Pioneers there.
What a great throw from Flaherty, though. You know, the fact that he still made that a close play at first.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good pitch. It's weak contact, but unfortunate spot. Sometimes you just get that 6-hole, and when you got a little bit of speed running down the first baseline, it's easy hit. Oh, hidden ball trick.
Hidden ball trick. Had the base runner out. So a hidden ball trick. That one's actually going to have to. It's going to be scored 1-. That's got to be scored 1-3 though, right? If the pitcher.
Yeah, I mean, that's the second time that Nick Payne has done that, and he did that in Geneva earlier this week, and he successfully did it. He successfully did it at Geneva, but Coach Steve had actually come out and called time just as he did it, and they didn't count it.
I do remember that now that you say that. Well, hidden ball trick. Nick Payne gets the runner at third, out for the final out.
I I mean, if
What
it
at the
works.
bottom of the 6-1 your score. We'll be right back on Finger Lakes One Radio on the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. We're back here on Finger Lakes One Radio, 6-1 your score as Jack Archimon will step in now for the Pilots.
Yeah, the ever so dangerous Jack Archimon leading us off here.
Hey, you stole that out of my dictionary. I always say that.
Batting over 330 coming into this game.
That was just missed outside. Counts at 1-0 to Archimon. 1 for 2 on the night. Singled in the first and grounded out 4-3 in the third. Archimon batting .328 coming in this game. That one taken for a strike on the inner half of the plate. Counts at 1-1. Chris Ferrara waits on deck for the Pilots as well. For Elmira, 6 runs, 7 hits, no errors. And for the Pilots, 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error.
Ups, down, slider.
Misses low. Counts at 2-1.
Didn't look like that one missed, but I definitely will take
Very close pitch, and I will say that the strike zone has been anything but consistent here tonight in Game 2. Game one was consistent.
Inconsistently inconsistent. That one up and in, ball 3.
So 3 balls, 1 strike to the leadoff man, Jack Archimon. But hey, what I say, 6th, 7th, and 8th innings for the Pilots. Those are their bounce back innings. This game only 7 innings, remember? Due to that one
3-1 pitch.
being a doubleheader. Hit out into left field. Underneath it is the left fielder. And making the play is Spencer Aubin.
The first out of the inning.
Yeah, and that one I'll bring up Chris Ferrara for the Pilots. So Chris Ferrara from Coral Springs, Florida, and Emerson College will step up to the dish.
In the cleanup spot. Looking to be a table setter here with 1 out. Get somebody on base.
Birthday boy the other day.
Oh, yeah. National holiday, as he calls it.
That one taken for a strike. Counts at 0-1. Well, it goes Chris Ferrara's birthday and Christmas, then the 4th of July. So,
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
no balls, 1 strike. 0-1 pitch from Meeks. That one taken for a strike. Count is at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes.
Someone would like to say this is Chris Ferrara's Jordan year as he turns 23.
The big 2-3.
About 3 days ago.
Is it true Tatu's older than Chris?
Oh, no, Tatsu's 22, I believe.
22. Okay, I thought Tatu was 23.
Yeah, Tatsu's going into his 5th year of college. The MTSU guy transferring to NCAA. Solid program there out of the CAA.
0-2 pitch. Swung on and popped up into shallow center field. Coming on is Gingrich. He'll make the play. An F8 for Chris Ferrara, the 2nd out of the inning.
That'll bring up Nick Payne.
Nick Payne.
Nick hidden ball trick Payne.
So Nick Payne will step up to the dish now with 2 away. Pilots down to their final 4 outs. They trail 6-1.
Yeah, Nick Payne. Never takes a game off. Always gets everything out of what he can. First pitch fouled off. Definitely plays the game hard, as you just saw the hidden ball trick, dancing on the bases. Definitely
Stole home the Pilots' only run.
Home, exactly. Yeah, definitely a pest for other teams, and definitely somebody you want on your team. The umpire once again almost bringing dirt onto the plate as the inside part of the plate looks to be covered in dirt. The 0-1 from Meeks. That one way
Almost
up
comes
and
up and hits him. A little Olay there
Payne just getting out of the way of that curveball.
from Nick Payne. Counts at 1-1, and he was playing limbo on that pitch as it almost came in to hit him. How low can you go, Nick Payne? 1-1 pitch. Just outside.
Just outside, it'll be 2-1.
2 balls, 1 strike. Waiting on deck for the Pilots is Briggs Loveland.
Who knows? Make this guy throw a couple pitches. They have nobody in the bullpen. I don't think they have any arms left. Get into the 9th inning.
Like I said, both teams running on E.
Same thing happened last game. They ran out of pitching.
That one swung on and hit right towards the first baseman. It'll take a weird bounce, but a good backup by the shortstop. And they're going to call out Nick Payne at first. I don't know. That one looked close.
I think the scoop made it look a little bit closer, but he might have had him there. Great play by the shortstop.
So a 6-3 ground out for Nick Payne. Very close play at first. We'll head to the top of the 7th. It'll be Kevin Noss leading things off for the Pioneers. We'll be right back on Finger Lakes One Radio on the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. Back here, top of the 7th, 6-1 your score in game 2 of this double header. That one swung on and popped up.
Kingsley back out for a 2nd inning work. Got out of a jam. I mean, damage control to his best. Couple unfortunate plays, but looked pretty effective out there.
0-1 your count to Kevin Noss, 1 for 3 on the night. Another swing and a miss.
Fastball.
0-2.
Yeah, this game definitely moved by a lot faster than the last game as we're heading into the last.
0-2 pitch from Kingsley. Good
Just
spot for that
outside.
one. Counts at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and no outs.
The 1-2 from Kingsley. Deals and cut on and miss. Strike 3. Great pitch there by Kingsley. It struck him out for the first out of the inning.
That one I'll bring up the designated hitter number 77, Joe Muzio. Muzio is 0 for 3 on the night. Pair of strikeouts. Both of those when facing Landon White.
Yeah, I mean, he came in and stared down White, and White stared him
Certainly
down
won the battle.
as he walked down to the dugout.
But I guess Pioneers win the war in game 2 at this point.
After swinging at strike 3 the first time and looking at strike 3 the second time. And he will cut on and swing and miss again. 0-1.
No balls, 1 strike, and 1 away. Pitch from Kingsley.
Second pitch swung on and hit it to right field. Looks like he just missed that one. That'll be a fly out to Paulie Goodness there in right field for the second out of the inning.
An F9. 2 quick outs for Kingsley. That'll bring up the extra hitter, number 8, Cooper Smith, with 2 away.
Yeah, impressive first 2 batters for Kingsley here in the top of the 7th. Saving us from seeing some position guys get into the game. That's never fun.
First pitch from Kingsley. Curveball just misses. Counts at 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes to Cooper Smith. 0 for 2, as I mentioned. Struck out swinging his last at bat. Had a walk back into third. 1-0 pitch. Misses outside.
Fastball
Counts at
misses out.
2-0. Excuse me. Again, Smith was credited with the loss in game 1 of the doubleheader. Paulie Goodness walked it off of Cooper Smith.
And fouled off to the right side.
2 balls, 1 strike to count.
Kingsley, like we said, I believe he's a rising junior going at St. John Fisher. If I return back to Brockport, he will be our crosstown rival, and I will face him probably multiple times. 2-1, low curveball misses, 3-1. Great guy to be around, too, by the way. Quiet guy, but once you get to know him and he opens up, great guy.
3-1 pitch.
Good pitch there, ground out short. Throw to first is in time, and that'll end the inning.
1-2-3 inning for Cameron
Great inning there
Kingsley.
for Kingsley.
It'll be Briggs Loveland. Pilots will be down to their final out. Final 3 outs. Bottom of the 7th coming up. We'll be right back on Finger Lakes 1 Radio on the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. Back on Finger Lakes 1 Radio on the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv. It's Briggs Loveland leading things off for the Pilots, who are down to their final 3 outs of the evening, and they'll have no easy task at that, as Gardner Meek so far, 2 innings of work, no hits, and 2 strikeouts. He's only thrown 24 pitches.
First pitch swinging.
Loveland hits that one into center field as Wes Ginrich makes the play. F8.
Unfortunate there. Good piece on the ball. Pretty much a barrel, so it's always unfortunate.
That will now bring up the shortstop, Michael Flaherty from London, England. Big Michael.
Got to get him on base here if you want any chance of coming back.
And as Anthony Laurinaitis is saying, we just need to get me over.
Get me over, yeah. Meeks isn't throwing too many get me overs. He's looked pretty good so far.
First pitch, bounced in the dirt. Counts at 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. And 1 out to Michael Flaherty. One 0 pitch. Taken for a strike. Counts at 1-1 now.
Flaherty coming in this game batting just over 300 at 302, but since then has a base hit in this game.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. That one swung a hit on the line right at the third baseman. Ray Hernandez backhands it, a throw in time, and I'm not sure that was an out, but
I don't know. These umpires might want to go home.
yeah, that's what it's looking like to me because he at least had a step and a half ahead of the umpire, ahead of the throw there. So
That's why I just, especially in a summer league, a lot of these guys are in the transfer portal, including myself. Something like that, like that changes a 2 for 3 rather than 1 for 3. Like, I mean, just one hit, but like there's multiple calls a year where you kind of get the feeling where.
and that one hit right at the shortstop. Presto throws on the first. 6-3 ground out. The Pioneers win game 2, 6-1. So a split. So the Pioneers win. Thanks for listening. We'll be back on Tuesday against the Auburn Double Days. We'll see you then on Finger Lakes One Radio and the Newark Pilots YouTube channel, NewarkPilots.tv.